Good morning and welcome to a vlog coming to you today from a metro station in Paris, and we're just currently waiting for our train to go catch the sunrise. So got an awesome sunrise location in mind, specifically the Trocadero Square, which overlooks the Eiffel Tower, so I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, meeting up with Patrick again, and obviously that's always a great incentive and motivation to get up so early on a Saturday morning, because I mean, it's a little bit against your human nature to, after a long week of work, to then want to get up super early on a Saturday as well. But if you're meeting people, that's added pressure and gets you out of bed for sure. So keen to link up from there at the Trocadero, and the weather's looking amazing as well, not a cloud in the sky, so hopefully the sunrise will come through really strong with the sun really peeking over the horizon. So that's the plan, but let's jump on this train and make this happen. Just arrived at the Trocadero, and do check this out. So here's the square I was talking about, and look how beautiful that is. Tones are really starting to pull through really nicely, and this is peak sunrise. So the key is to get a little bit before the actual sunrise, maybe 10-20 minutes before, and you can start getting all these tones coming in. And this is really the perfect time to come here, because if you were to come here in the evening, you'd see about 1,000 people in the square, and you definitely wouldn't be getting any good photos. So that's why waking up early is so key. And right now I've got the camera set up down here with a wide angle just to capture all the scripture down here, and then as well as, of course, do I really need to tell you more about the backdrop, or can you figure it out for yourself? Also, you'll always find a lot of weddings going on here in the morning, so got a shoot going on here. You can see the strobes firing away. Model, I guess, bride, I don't know, she's up here. But then got another wedding party over here, another couple there. It's a very popular spot for that kind of photography as well. So sunrise is still looking pretty spectacular over here. Tones everywhere. And so we actually reverted to move away from landscape photography and do a bit of street photography, because there was a lot of characters going on in the square, and made for some really good shots. Got the camera still out, gonna keep shooting. Here's the scene behind us, staircase. I guess gonna be doing something similar to these girls up here, where you kind of pose, and then got the Eiffel Tower in the background, so let's make this happen. Crowds behind at the Trocadero and moved further along the river, because the morning light's still looking super beautiful, and it's amazing for portraits right now. I mean, look at how the light's hitting my face, so good. So what we thought we'd do is we'd set up here. There's Patrick over there shooting there. Anna has also joined us. It's actually a colleague of Patrick's, and using her as a foreground element with that light hitting her on the side of her face, looking really good. And of course the Eiffel Tower in the background of the river. Totally my style of shot, because I love water and landmarks, and Diana's just a perfect foreground element and subject as well. So really happy with the shots I got, and let's go check those out. So we're done shooting the Eiffel Tower down by the river, and going to catch the metro in a second. Patrick too. And you should check out the station called Bir Hakeim, because it's the best subway ride photography-wise, because it crosses the bridge on the river. So if you position yourself well, have your camera ready for wide-angle lens ready to go, you can have a really nice viewpoint right over the river with the Eiffel Tower arching behind it. So. For that shot we used the widest aperture possible, f2.8, and then crank the shutter speed as fast as possible because we're on a moving train. So shot at 1,600 for the second, and that should make for a sharp shot. So after the metro ride, we went to go have brunch, and that was lovely, really good food as you can always find in Paris. But now the beautiful morning light's well and truly behind us, and we're dealing with the midday sun, which is seriously the worst time to take photos because you get that harsh light, which makes for very contrasting light and shadows, and it's just kind of boring with the light being so top lit. It's just very dull, and that light blue is not as exciting as sunrise tones. So on that note, I'm going to stop photographing for the time being, but I'm definitely going to pick this vlog up later. The vlog does not end here. I'll check in with you guys in a little bit when I head back out again to go chase the sunset. So going to rest up for the afternoon and catch up with you guys in a bit. See you then. And here we are many hours later, and we find ourselves on the Champs-Élysées, and the plan is for sunset to head to the top of the Arc de Triomphe. So this is a place I've been meaning to go for sunset every time I came to Paris the previous time, but it never worked out. Reason being, sometimes the weather was poor or the queue was too long. Well, when I say the queue was too long, maybe I'm just the one who joined the queue too late, so I shouldn't blame other people for my misfortunes. But now there's 1.5 hours to go to sunset, and I'm going to try to join that queue immediately and hopefully get to the top. This weekend actually is European Cultural Weekend, Cultural Appreciation Weekend, whatever it's called, and entry is free, so that might make the queue longer, but I hope I can snag a free entry and get to the top, which would be awesome. So let's head over there and see if we can make this happen. Fortunately, the queue wasn't so long and it was free entry in the end, which is even more awesome. And here we are on the interior of the arch. I didn't even know the space existed. I guess I never really thought to think that the arch was a room in the inside as well. I always knew of the rooftop as well as the square at the bottom, but never the inside. So just exploring this. It's looking pretty impressive actually, with a lot of patriotic things going on, and I can't read the scriptures, but it looks pretty awesome. And yeah, I just want to show you guys this before we head to the top, which is the view I'm really after. Expecting a grand view over the whole of Paris, as well as the Eiffel Tower, because what you got to remember is that Paris has very strict planning rules, and they're very strict as to how tall buildings can be. So because they want the Eiffel Tower to be seen from all parts of town, buildings have a set height. However, the Arc de Triomphe, this bad boy over here, is slightly taller than the rest of the buildings. So this actually gives you an awesome view over the rooftops and the Eiffel Tower in the background. So that's going to be awesome. And then also I'm expecting to get my wide angle lens out and capture Champs-Élysées, the main shopping street as well, where we were standing earlier. So can't wait to do that. So let's get out of this interior and get out into the open air. Back here on the hilltop is Sacré-Cœur, on the top of the hill of Montmartre, looking really beautiful. Back here is the street leading up to La Défense. So if you watch some of my previous videos, see my channel if you want to see those. I was staying in a hotel back here and captured the Grand Arch from my hotel room, which is pretty awesome. But the cool thing worth pointing out here is Paris' city planning, because obviously we're at the bottom, or we're at the top of the big roundabout, very famous. And look how long these avenues are, all leading up to this Arc de Triomphe, which is awesome. And I love how this arch lines up with that arch all the way back there. So that's really cool city planning, and I love that architecture. So this here is the Champs-Élysées, but I'm not really crazy about this composition. Back in the day on this square there used to be a giant Ferris wheel, and that made for a really cool backdrop, but whatever. So I'm going to skip the shot for now, maybe later with some light trails. And over here, this tower back here is Tour Montparnasse. So if you watched one of my previous vlogs, you would have seen we went all the way to the top here to get an awesome view of the Eiffel Tower just here. So of course I'm going to be photographing this composition right here, that goes without saying, and without further ado, let's go make this happen. So we're mid golden hour now and the light's looking lovely, and look what's behind me. Right on, that's what we're photographing, and since it's quite far away, I've decided to use a telephoto lens, specifically the 85mm prime lens by Zeiss. And that's really cool because it allows me to just frame the composition really nicely, to get the Eiffel Tower in shot, as well as a little bit of the foreground of the rooftop. So that's really cool. but I think I'm going to switch to the 35mm in a second, just to get this foreground as well, just to really complete the street scene. But afterwards I can just pick which shot I like the most, but I'll be sure to share both of you as well. So starting with the 85, here it is. So after grabbing some shots of the 85mm, I moved on to the 35mm, which of course was a lot wider. And then afterwards I thought I'm just going to be cycling through all the lenses I brought with me and use my third prime lens, which is the 18mm prime. So I managed to cycle through all the lenses and got some very different perspectives as a result because of the different focal lengths. So yeah, let me know which focal length you like the most. The more telephoto one, which is the more zoomed in, or the very wide one, or the in-between one. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Been trying to defend this spot quite badly because it's in very high demand, and just as you can see now, the lights on the Eiffel Tower have started to come on and it's looking super beautiful. Sun's already set, but tones are still very much there in the sky. A couple of lights on the Eiffel Tower is just looking beautiful, so really happy we got the opportunity to come up here. So it's very cramped up here and they don't allow tripods. So been having to use my prime lenses at f1.4, which is the widest they go. Reason being it lets in the most light, because if you're shooting handheld you need to use a higher shutter speed. So been shooting at f1.4, ISO 800, 1/100th of a second, and that's allowed me to capture the blue hour with the Eiffel Tower being on at the moment. It's currently 8:30, and at 9 p.m. sharp, the light show will come on. So that's what we're all still waiting for the sparkles to come onto the Eiffel Tower. So I've got my blue hour shots in. Afterwards, I'm going to take the sparkles from the light show. But at that point in time, it'll already be pitch black dark, and the night sky won't look as good as the blue hour right now. So once I've taken those shots, I'm going to overlay them onto the blue hour shots, and the final result will be blue hour with the sparkles. So that's the idea in my mind. But let's stick around until the light show and then hopefully get the final shots to complete the final picture. And that's a wrap from the top of the Arc de Triomphe. So that final photo is going to be a real tough one to edit because you need to combine the blue hour with lots of individual sparkle shots to make the final photo. But I'm all up for the challenge. And well, not having edited it yet, but I'm going to show you the final result anyway. Here it is. So yeah, let me know if you like that shot and give me your opinion in the comments below. Also, one recommendation if you do intend to visit the Arc de Triomphe is I'd say come here really early because the queue at the bottom can be pretty extreme, and once you get to the top you're going to be wrestling for a good spot to catch the sunset view onto the Eiffel Tower as well as the light show. People do hog the spots, me included, and yeah, you just want to secure it and hang on to it because if you lose it, it's gone. So with that being said, it's nighttime now. I'm going to be done shooting. I keep saying that in most vlogs actually. But yeah, it really is the case. Done shooting for Paris for today, and unfortunately this was my last night here as well. But anyway, let me stop rambling. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your support. Give me a thumbs up button or thumbs down button below, whichever tickles your fancy, and I hope to see you in the next episode. And if you aren't already, please subscribe. Good night.